My plan now is to follow something that I actually initially saw on YouTube, which was a video called I Tried the Murph for 30 days. So with less than a week into lockdown and knowing that it was going to be a long stretch without the gym, I went to the only place where I know where to get knowledge and inspiration from, and this is what I found.
Have you heard of a Murph?
No, what the hell's a Murph?
30 days, I did a Murph every single day.
The last 30 days, I've done a Murph every single day.
And I decided to do 30 Murphs in 30 days.
I watched it and thought, this is pretty brutal.
You're damn right.
So I decided not to listen to the words of warning from the guys who did it and said it was one of the toughest things they'd ever decided to do.
I'm freaking dying. Guys, I don't know if I can finish this challenge. This challenge is so hard.
And I thought, why not join the bandwagon? So I took on the 30-day Murph challenge. Now, I'm no pro athlete, so I say I could do the exercises to a normal standard, but I definitely was not ready to do the weighted version of the Murph. So I decided to keep it body weight. At less than a week into lockdown, stepped outside to do the Murph for the very first time. I've actually done the first day and I was testing the ropes, took roughly 50 to 55 minutes. Oh, how I look back at that naive man who did not know what journey he was in for. Let the fun begin.
It's actually the warmest day of the year so far. It's like 13 or 14 degrees. And my protective mask has arrived because, you know, safety first. So let's get at it. So I've just come back from really giving this Murph a proper go. Completely different to yesterday. And the time came in at 47 minutes. Now I know just how brutal this thing is going to be. The pain has eased a lot. Doesn't feel as difficult getting out there. So yeah, day 5. Let's get at it. So my trusty camera woman for day 6 has just committed to joining me before the end of my 30-day challenge to do it one of the days, so let's see what day that happens. That was tough. I'm going to be honest, after the 18th, I couldn't actually do any more pull-ups. I don't know if it's because of fatigue or the wind or my hands being cold. But I replaced them with some abs. Probably the toughest day yet. 45 minutes on the dot. I got full access to the pull-up bar today. And also it's been only about 18 hours since I did the last one. So it's going alright. The time is improving, just over 42 minutes. I really thought I was going to do sub 40 today, but those last 3 sets, the pull-ups are killing me. I'm hoping week by week I can see an improvement. Yesterday I thought I did sub 40 and couldn't believe I didn't, and I was wondering how the hell am I ever going to get below it. Today we hit sub 39. One of the things I did different is I really pushed myself in the first 10 because I knew either way I was always going to slow down in the final 10. 38.49, if you can read that. So the biggest lesson learned that I wanted to mention is that this morning I woke up, and as I know I needed a bit more rest, but I genuinely thought I wasn't going to do it today. So I was already thinking of excuses or what else, like alternative things I could do instead that wouldn't make me feel too bad. But I've watched enough of the YouTube videos doing Chris Hemsworth's workout for 30 days, Dwayne Johnson, trying to lose as much fat, 100 pull-ups, the whole lot. And in every single video, everyone at one point says that there's at least one day, probably a few, where they genuinely were like, I'm not going to do it today. But then something in them makes them go and do it. And me, from watching that, made me realise that I'm in exactly the same boat. So I listened to my body and gave myself an extra bit of rest, did some stretching, and then I just knew if I didn't do it, I'd feel awful. So I got out there, and as soon as you get started, you know you're going to finish it because you've done it before.
Okay, so roughly at the halfway point, and the body has definitely got through those initial days of struggle and realised it's going to be going through this every day. Stamina's up, endurance has improved, and the mile runs are getting quicker, so there is a huge benefit to doing this. However, it doesn't stop that struggle that creeps in every workout where you just wonder, when is this set gonna end? But it really does help to train perseverance, and really the ability to push through mentally became a huge strength in getting the challenge completed, but also bringing that time down. The form definitely was slipping towards the end, especially with the pull-ups, but I feel like they're slowly getting better as well, so progress is progress.
Well, I had a cute little dog that tried to take my glove, which had my key in it, so that could have ended badly. But yeah, it seems because of the lockdown, they've closed off any form of pull-up bar or equipment, so that's why I resorted to using these goalposts. When life gives you goalposts, make a pull-up bar. One man once said. Bar time's getting quicker. It's a good sign.
Bit of a weird one today. Did my quickest first mile, felt pretty good about it, and got into the sets and it was going alright, but about halfway through I just knew that the rest of it was going to be a huge struggle. I needed a huge breather between each of the sets, and my legs just felt really tired. And that last mile was definitely the slowest last mile that I've done throughout the whole challenge. Overall, it was roughly just over 40 minutes, which is still not bad, but could be because my morning routine was a bit different. Normally I just have a coffee or a pre-workout and then get into it, but because I had a really small dinner, I felt like I needed a bit more in the morning, and maybe that just made me feel a bit more tired. But yeah, it just goes to show that when the body just ain't feeling it, it just ain't feeling it.
It's 20 degrees out. There's a bit of a breeze going, but this is definitely the hottest that I'll be doing it in. This is gonna be sweaty. This temperature rise definitely made it so much harder. Definitely felt my muscles and everything getting tired a lot more. But I think I've done it long enough to know that I just need to keep persevering, keep going. And the final mile was not too bad either. So yeah, coming in at about 37 minutes. Another day, another Murph. So it's Easter Monday, and there is no one in the park because the weekend was sunny, and now it's just cold and windy. And I wouldn't be here either if it wasn't for this little challenge I've got going on. So big respect to 30-day challenges. The days go by, but it doesn't mean that it suddenly gets a whole lot easier. The legs get tired, the lungs get tired. I guess the only difference is mentally, you know, you've done it a dozen times before, you can do it again, so you keep going. But man, it still hurts. With only about 3 or 4 days to go until the end of this 30-day challenge, I managed to hit a personal best today, and one that I do not think I'm going to beat. So, taking this victory. Didn't really have any breaks, just kept going. The runs were really good, just worked out really well today.
So this is my support for the Murph today. Real motivation right there.
Couldn't beat the time today, just over 35.5 minutes, and I was about 15 to 20 seconds slower on both races, both miles, so that's definitely where I lost the time.
And that is that. I mean, once I didn't manage to beat the 35-minute personal best, I pretty much was just looking to get the challenge done. When you're pushing your body that quickly and through that much on a daily basis, some of the days it's not going to feel at its best, and for those days that becomes really important, just to be able to go at a steady pace that you know you can handle and give it some extra time to recover. So what is my verdict on this challenge? Definitely the most physically grueling thing I've ever put myself through, and it became hugely important, the ability to know that you can push through even on the days where I felt like there's no way I was going to be able to do it. My performance in terms of my recovery rates and the ability to get the workouts done improved massively. So it shows when you stick to anything for a while, you will get better at it. But to be able to do that every day has been a huge accomplishment. Apart from that, I'm glad that that one's done. On to the next one.